Something is happening right now to empaths all over the world that nobody is talking about. They've gone silent. Some for months, some for years. They pulled back from friendships, walked away from relationships, left jobs, and everyone around them called it defeat. But Carl Jung documented something about this exact pattern that would make every person who dismissed them deeply uncomfortable. What looks like retreat is actually preparation. What looks like collapse is actually reorganization at the deepest psychological level. Jung studied individuals who withdrew after years of giving themselves away, and what he found on the other side wasn't a broken person. It was someone so fundamentally restructured that the people who knew them before couldn't recognize what they'd become. Jung called it the return of the individuated self. Empaths had been metabolizing other people's emotional weight since childhood, carrying grief, anxiety, and pain that was never theirs to carry. Their entire nervous system functioned as an emotional processing plant for everyone around them, and nobody ever asked if the plant could handle the load. Jung was clear. This wasn't generosity. It was a survival pattern locked in place before the empath had any say in the matter. Eventually, empaths hit a wall. Their systems shut down. Everyone thought they'd fallen apart. But Jung saw something remarkable happening inside that silence. Freed from processing everyone else's emotions, the empath's psyche began, for the very first time, to process its own buried feelings, desires, and identity. The anger comes first, volcanic, sacred rage, the shadow reclaiming territory that had been surrendered for decades without consent. Then comes grief, not for what was lost, but for what was never there. Jung called this the death of the savior complex, the most important psychological death an empath could experience. What emerges is the individuated empath, someone who still feels deeply, but whose sensitivity no longer controls them. It becomes a gift they choose to use. The individuated empath says no without guilt, perceives emotions without absorbing them, and attracts relationships built on genuine equality rather than service. Jung warned that resistance would come. People who relied on the old system would fight fiercely to restore it. Their anger is confirmation the transformation is real. The empaths who held their ground, who tolerated the guilt without acting on it, emerged into something Jung called psychological sovereignty, belonging completely to themselves. If you're in the silent phase right now, Jung would tell you, you're not falling apart. You're being forged. This isn't destruction. This is your origin story, and it's already underway.